Okay. Why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm sure people will join us as we move forward. So, for those of us who are here, welcome. In partnership with the Women's Council of Associated Real Property Brokers and with support of Columbia Bank, we at Financial Beginnings would like to welcome you to our April Financial Literacy Month Savings and Retirement Community Drop-In webinar. My name is Anthony Beckley. As some of you have heard, I'm the Corporate Partnerships Manager at Financial Beginning, and I will be your host for today's Savings and Retirement session. That'll be led by Mr. Jasper Smith. A little background on Jasper. He's been involved in the financial services arena for nearly 20 years. He's been the chief visionary behind a financial education company called the Build Wealth Movement, and Jasper is a financial planner with Prudential Financial Inc. His vision and purpose is to help people disrupt generational poverty for their families and community. For those of you who would like to keep the conversation going with Jasper afterwards, please feel free to connect with him on his LinkedIn. But before we start, I would like to introduce the Vice President and Community Impact Manager for Columbia Bank for the states of California, Nevada, and Arizona, and a board member of the Women's Council Associated Real Property Brokers, as well as a champion for access to financial literacy, Miss Linnell Bevels, to have a few words. Linnell?
Thank you so much, Anthony. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm just going to upfront thank Jasper Smith for all his time, talents, and treasures. We appreciate him volunteering his time because with platforms like this and the topic, it takes a village, as they say. As Anthony mentioned, I'm Linnell Bevels. I'm happy to be here. I've been in, the financial services arena for over 30 some odd years. I've always been, an advocate for financial literacy. When I wore my mortgage lending hat, I was regularly facilitating homebuyer workshops. And so it's really, really important to make sure that communities, specifically those who have been marginalized for centuries, right, get the information. And sometimes it helps when the information is coming from folks that look like them. I'm also here representing the Women's Council of Associated Real Property Brokers. And, its mission is to make sure that low to moderate income individuals are getting access to information to make informed decisions around home ownership. Therefore, financial literacy is a focal point. So happy to be here. Glad to see my third vice president, Karen Allen, in the room. And yeah, this is great. Thanks so much, Anthony.
Sure, sure. So, just a few things before we get started. I'll be managing the chat section of the webinar. And that's where, if you have a few questions for Jasper, you can feel free to post them in the chat. Jasper will be stopping from section to section to engage you and follow up on the questions that you may have. And so, with that, I'd like to pass it on to you, Jasper. Everyone stay muted while Jasper shares. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Linnell, for the warm introduction. I'll transition through. So, Anthony already read my bio, so I'll just flash this up very quickly here. But really excited about this topic just because this is kind of an area that like I thoroughly enjoy having these discussions and conversations. And so, what I hope to do is give you all some real nuggets to kind of walk away with, whether you use them for yourselves, share them with your family, friends, coworkers, community. I mean, that's the whole point of these sessions is to explain these concepts in a manner that's easily digestible. What I find, or what I found and find is that people just are afraid to have these discussions, but we know that money kind of touches everything that we do. We work hard, but what do we do with it? And so a lot of us may never have received that memo. So maybe today is the first step. Here's the memo on how to take care of your money, on how to really think about from a savings lens, retirement. There's a lot that we're going to cover today, so I don't want to scare anybody, but I think take what you need. I won't say discard the rest, but just kind of file it for safekeeping because we're gonna kind of scratch the surface on a lot of different topics, and today's really around the savings and retirement aspect. We'll even delve into a little bit of investments. Just again, scratching the surface. So I'm always going to say, uh, you know, connect with a professional, right? To really have a discussion around what it is that you need from a personal planning perspective. Now, a lot of the things that I'll cover today are general things that I tend to share with everybody. But again, depending on where you are on, I like to call your build wealth journey, there may be one area that needs a little more work than another. So this is a judgment-free zone. I'm also love to have a little bit of engagement. So I will post some questions throughout the session because again, I think the engagement is where a lot of this stuff gets good. And so if you want to leverage the chat, like Anthony said, he'll be kind of managing that as I go through, but also I'll pause throughout to kind of see if there are any questions or comments. But also as I pose some of these questions, because there's just a couple of things I'm going to ask of the group, and then you all can just kind of respond back via the chat, or if you're comfortable, feel free to take yourself off mute and kind of hop in. I want to make sure that you get as much out of this as I'm going to receive by presenting. And so as we couple of learning objectives here, we're going to start with a really cool framework that I've known about for years. Maybe you have heard it, maybe you haven't, but the SMART framework to really help you to kind of hone in and focus on what the goal is and how to achieve it. And so the SMART framework is a strategy that can help you to kind of execute and follow through on that plan in a seamless manner. Again, we'll touch on retirement. Retirement is a heavy one. I mean, actually, all these topics I could probably spend an hour on, but we're going to lump them all into one. So again, I'm gonna try to scratch the surface, get in, get out as quick as I can. But
Yeah, you got 45-minute
I
plan.
know.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give you all a lot of pro tips. All right, that's what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna say pro tip, and then I'm gonna say something. Just that's the tip I want you to walk. It's just so much. I think a lot of times it's the information we've received or come across that we just weren't able to validate, or we didn't really understand why it was beneficial to us, right? So, and then the third point again, just saving is different from investing. Let me say that. I think we in our industry, especially when speaking about retirement, this is still a thing. I'm not personally saving for retirement. I'm saving for a rainy day. I'm investing for my retirement. And so that's another thing. That's just a personal thing for me of how our industry uses language to say, savings is different from investing, and retirement is something that we should be investing for. Right. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there before I begin because I think there's a disconnect with some of the language that my industry uses. And so when we come across people or have interaction with people who don't understand, like, where they are on that kind of timeline with retirement, their goals and all that, they're like, well, I've been saving for a while. And I was like, saving was good, but I need you to invest. We can put some of that money to work, and we'll have some slides to kind of speak to that notion of compounding and time and risk, and got a lot of good stuff. So we're gonna start. We are going to start with savings, and here's the pro tip. Pro tip number one: save until it hurts. Save until it makes you uncomfortable. You will never be upset with yourself for saving money. Now, there's again, we're going to talk about the SMART goals framework here shortly, but there are some financial educators and advisors who will say, just save money just for the sake of saving. And that's okay too, because again, having it is great and not having it is not so great. And here's the realities of that I have learned in my life is, and they always say, save for that rainy day in case something happens. When you don't have savings, emergencies tend to always pop up in your life. Don't know why, don't know how, but you're just not doing right financially. Emergencies pop up left and right. You're like, man, just what happened? What did I do wrong? And here's the flip side of that coin. And when you start saving and start doing right, emergencies don't pop up as often. You're like, well, I've been responsible. And so now what used to be an emergency is just a minor inconvenience. That's why savings is important. I got plenty of stories for days. I'm like, yeah, when I had it, cool. When I didn't have it, I was a wreck. I'm not sure some of us can think back into life when we didn't have the proper or adequate savings amount, and life was a little different. So I hope that we all strive to save a bit more because it is important for everyone. So quick question. My first question for the group, and again, you all can leverage the chat. This is a true false question, but uh, less than 50% of Americans say they can't afford to pay $1,000 emergency. And in the chat, do you think that's true or false? So less than 50% of Americans say they can't afford to pay a $1,000 emergency. What do y'all think? You could throw a true or false in the chat if you want to come off mute. But what do you all think? True or false? Less than 50% of Americans can't afford $1,000 emergency. Anybody want to take a guess? I'll take just one. Anybody, what y'all think? True or false? I need one. I got to get an answer before I go on. So take yourself off mute or use the chat. But I need somebody.
I say it's false. I think it's more, but go ahead. And I put that in the chat.
I agree that.
Okay.
And I'm the timekeeper, so I'm trying to keep you. You got 45 minutes, but go ahead.
That's all good. We're gonna get through it. True. Okay, good. Yeah. So it's true.
Is it less than 50%?
Oh, I'm sorry, more than 50.
Okay, because I was like,
My bad. And I read the question. So yeah. So
the way that you posed the question, the answer is false. The response is
correct.
It's more than 50%. Okay.
I got y'all. See, trick. I see y'all paying attention. See, all right. Yeah, that's scary to me, right? $1,000 shouldn't be a ton of money, but there are a ton of people who cannot, if it happened right now, could not get their hands on $1,000. Whew. If you needed a savings goal, there's the first one. Save $1,000 in case that $1,000 emergency comes up. We know there are emergencies that could be a lot higher or lower, but in terms of dollar amount, but for what it's worth, saving is important. So let me run you all through the SMART goals framework. And so we're going to use savings as our theme for as we go through the framework itself. And so say SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. Sometimes, depending on, you may see the A stand for achievable, the R for realistic, but it still fits into the SMART goals framework. And so, in thinking about our theme of saving, we want to do all of these steps and we want to do them in order. And also, let me say this works for anything outside of money. A SMART goal in general works for just life stuff. Being specific is important. How do you measure the success or lack thereof? Is it attainable? Or is it realistic to what you're trying to really accomplish? And then stamping that time on the end is really critical for you to kind of move through the process. And so in being specific, you tell me, right? A lot of times clients are like, what should I do? What should I save for? I don't know. This is your financial plan. You tell me. Now, what I do know, I love the one on the far right, that vacation. It ain't hard for you to set that goal. Oh, I want to take a vacation today. So I know that that is one that people get excited about. But when they do have that excitement, the savings gets done. But all you did was just focus your effort on, I got to take this trip. I'm going to this island. We're going on this excursion. You're locked in. And I've had that happen with, clients of mine, especially vacations and then a car. Something about getting the new car. I know houses are important, right? But the new car is a thing. Because when you get that car on your mind, oh my goodness, you will save money, fix your credit, be responsible. And lo and behold, in 6 months or less, you got the car because you're going to pull up and show me, Jasper, look what I did. And that is a true story, right? People, when you get specific, all it does is it just helps to focus your efforts. Nothing else, I won't say nothing else. Most things aren't as important. And it's something about just setting that target seems to work out a lot easier than those who don't or who are not specific about their goal. But we're talking about savings today. So saving, I want to save, let's say $1,200. So how am I going to measure that success? Well, hopefully I have a savings account. And if I'm trying to measure, well, that breaks down to $100 per month. So, okay, that's pretty doable. I can track that and measure that all year long. And so that's what you want to do. You want to measure the success. So you can also kind of Now, it helps serve as this guide along the way. So if life happens and you got knocked off track, you use this step to check in. How am I doing? Okay, I missed a couple of months. Life happened to me. Okay, cool. The goal is still 1,200. So do I need to, you know, make some short-term sacrifices to get back on track? And if so, you do that. And I think this is these frameworks in general, these rule of thumbs, a lot of things that we cover today or that you may hear, they're not set in stone, right? There's this fluidity around the goal setting you do, the process you take to get there. Unfortunately, we all wish it was just as straight of a line as this image shows, but don't have some zigzags. A little, maybe just stop for a little while. Maybe you totally reassess the number. Maybe it was too low. Maybe it was too high. But no matter what it is, we definitely want to make sure we're tracking it. The next step is the A. Is it attainable? So is it realistic? I like a good unrealistic goal to stretch me, but also I'm trying to get some wins. So let's make it reasonable, something we can actually do. And so I won't read through all the different strategies in the box in the lower left corner, but when we're talking about savings, and I kind of already alluded to this, you got to prepare for those potential obstacles because life is going to happen to you. Just live long enough, stuff's gonna keep happening, and that's okay. So expect it, embrace it. One of the things that I would probably add to this box, and if we're talking about savings, this is again, this would be pro tip number 2. Put your savings goal on autopilot. Jasper, I can't save money. I'm like, you thinking about it. That's why. And then people always laugh. You're thinking about it. Just put it on autopilot. And this could be a direct transfer from your checking to your savings, or if you just go to your employer and they have direct deposit, set up the savings account or whatever account you're going to save in, connect it directly to that paycheck. So every time you get paid, cha-ching, every time you get paid, cha-ching, you didn't even think about it. It's realistic when you got to think. If I can get the goal, whoo, I ain't thinking about it. Well, that's easy work. And that's the biggest impediment when it comes to saving. Well, Jasper, how do I do it? I think it is being specific, but then it is that automation. Automation is how you get to that goal. Some people prefer not to do it, and that's okay. They want to do the work. I'm lazy. I just want to set it and forget it. And okay, by the end of the year, this little $100 a month, I'm gonna get to that 1,200. And maybe I find myself being able to do a little bit more extra. So the system stays on autopilot. I may add a few dollars here and there and overachieve. So again, just a pro tip number 2 would be just definitely, if you can, put it on autopilot. Is it relevant? I hope so. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't set the goal and let it not be relevant to your life. Like you're lying to yourself. so so if it's relevant, right? I do want to save for that emergency, that rainy day, something is going to happen. I do want to take that vacation or go on that cruise. I maybe want to have a feeling of independence where if an emergency comes up, it doesn't, my whole life isn't thrown into shambles. And so I think for whatever savings goal you do set, it should be relevant to you and what it is that you're trying to achieve and or accomplish. And then lastly is just the timing of it. I love a good timestamp because now it solidifies. Um, I think one solidifies how serious you are about the goal when you put that timestamp. It's just like deadlines, right? People get assignments and then last minute it just all comes together and you're stressed out and it's like, and you just started and tracked it and did all these steps and you put a timestamp, you would have hit the goal with flying colors. But to each his own, right? Some of us procrastinate when it comes to this, and that's okay. We human. Like I ain't perfect in every category, but some of this stuff we can avoid. Again, if we just put that timestamp on the end and say, okay, if it's a year, cool, let's look at it from a year standpoint. If there's some more intermediate goals where it's like, it's in that 1 to 5 year time frame. If it's 5 years plus, again, that's for you to decide. Like I always tell people, your financial plan has to be unique to you. So I will come on here and tell you something to do. You'll sit on a webinar next week. They'll tell you something to do. You'll watch something on the internet. And ultimately, you have to figure out or determine what's my process. And I think planning will always be something that needs to be personalized. And so as you think about the timestamps and going through the SMART goals framework, it does behoove you to think about like, what is it that I want to get out of this process? All right, so I'm gonna pause here for a second before we see the slide here. We're gonna shift gears into retirement. But any questions, comments at this moment, Anthony, let me know. If not, I'm gonna keep this
I
show
have a
on the road.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think the last slide talked about, um, goals, less than a year, 1 to 5 and 5. Do you find that folks do these things simultaneously, or is it, I mean, it's almost like walking and chewing gum when you're looking at these three different types of goals. But what do you find to be most effective, in this regard?
Yeah, you're gonna do all of them at the same time in terms of at least from the beginning of writing them all out. They're going to change, guaranteed. So, and I know from personal experience, I have written down so much stuff. I'm gonna get that done in 3 to 5. Yeah, and here's year 3. You hadn't even started. So it is a it is a living, breathing document, right? None of this is set in stone. So give yourself a ton of grace as you go through this process and go through this journey, because how you feel today about a certain goal that you set will definitely change. Like if it doesn't change, it's almost like you were that locked in, which I find it hard to believe because life is so fun and interesting, right? So just you think you're doing it, and then something comes or happens into your life, and you're like, might want to reassess. And the reassess is okay because all you do is you just remember your training. I just write down another goal again, or maybe I make an adjustment. You thought it was going to be a year. Thought unfortunately, I know people layoffs happen. You had a very tight plan, got the layoff notice. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit that savings goal this year. It's just not gonna happen. You hope it does, but there's no need to stress out knowing that you're not gonna hit that goal this year and you lost your job. Like I've been there, so it's like, okay, great, reassess, reassess. And let me say that applies to all these topics, right? Retirement, and it's all these topics that I think in a perfect world where nothing wrong or bad happens, you do this easy work. That only happens on TV when somebody wrote out the script. Because if I wrote my script, oh yeah, I'm never gonna have a bad day. It's always gonna be sunny and about 75. I'm gonna be out, you're just gonna write it a different way, but that's not how this works. So I think you have to, give yourself a lot of grace when you go through this process. But you gotta know it's doable. It's doable. All right. So retirement. Got another question for the group. Um, Let me say this first. Retirement is coming. Prepare accordingly. All right, that's my little quote for this section. It's coming. Now, the question I have for the group, you get two choices. Now, if your retirement goal isn't met, would you A, retire, or excuse me, would you A, work longer, or B, retire on less? So if your retirement goal isn't met, would you A, work longer, or B, retire on less? Again, you can cast your vote in the chat or you can come off mute and chime in. But would you work longer or would you just retire on less money? You only got two options. Because one of y'all is probably thinking, what about option C? There isn't one. Not in this scenario. You don't get it. You don't get a third option. This is A or B. Cast your vote. So your retirement goal isn't met. You retire on less or work longer. Yeah, somebody lying in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Somebody lying. Y'all not gonna work that long. I'll just y'all don't like y'all job that much to stay and keep working. Let me stop. All right, retire and less work long. Okay. Okay. All right. Good. I like this. We got a good mix here. It's up to you. Personally, I do like option C. I'm gonna get it together so I can have my money so I ain't gotta do either one of those. Option C is I'm gonna have the monies that I need to fire my employer. That wouldn't be nice. And that's pro tip number 3. Fire your employer one day. But it's gonna require some work, right? And that's where, and I say this in the retirement section, like people love what they do. We love earning a living, but it is something when you get to that level. And I've had clients who've reached the pinnacle where they're like firing them in 2 weeks. I said, oh my God. And you can see the excitement because what happens is you've worked, you've put in the hours, you you've done what you needed to do. And it's not to say you won't keep working in retirement, but just maybe from that primary job or career where you're like, man, there's some other heart work that I want to do. And maybe it's not so much about the money because you still want to stay vibrant and active, but retirement is coming, and I want people to really make sure they do the proper planning. And so um, here are some popular retirement vehicles. You have the four, I'll say this, there's the 400 series. There's one that's not on here. So if you work for a government entity or municipality, you may have what's called a 457B. I just call them the 400 series. They're all related, they're all cousins. But depending on what type of employer dictates which type of employer plan you have. There's also an IRA for some smaller businesses. They use what's called a simple IRA. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of a simple IRA, but generally speaking, your employer offers you a variety of options by way of retirement planning. And so take full advantage of this. And I mean full advantage. One of the biggest things that I've noticed from my interactions with people is some don't sign up, some don't inquire to learn enough about how they're invested in the plan. And there's some taxes we'll talk about here briefly that I think you can benefit from by just knowing what your plan, like knowing the details about your plan, right? So this is one of those when you get that job reviewing your benefits. This is one of the benefits I don't take lightly. I don't take any of my benefits lightly. If you give me benefits, I love you. So I want to take my time and go through each one of these. Now, with retirement specifically, taking full advantage of your employer plan is important, but you also may want to look at something on the outside, right? An individual retirement account. So for any entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are self-employed, they don't get these options sometimes, right? Well, my job, I'm the boss. So, okay, boss, you have to dictate what you should do from a retirement planning standpoint. And so, some of you may be familiar with the individual retirement accounts or IRAs. And let me take a pause for a moment here. And I know this happens a lot, so I want to kind of explain this because it just needs to be explained. For traditional, if you're taking notes, I want you to like make a little note and put pre-tax. If you're just taking notes, traditional IRA, I want you to on your notes just write pre-tax. So generally, and I'm gonna keep jumping back, and I'm doing this on purpose. The 401ks, the 403bs, if you had a 457, the default option for most plans is what's called a pre-tax deduction, meaning whatever you contribute into your plan for that calendar year, that same amount is deducted from your earnings for tax purposes. People love it. I'm saving money. Yeah, in that year. The problem is, and this is what the traditional IRA will show you, is that, well, you get taxed in retirement. Your government loves you, but they want their money. So they're willing to give you that tax deduction every year, but you're going to pay once you retire and or begin to take distributions. Now, in the traditional IRA sense, if you have access to a 401k, 403b, or the 457 plan, well, I'll say 401k and 403b for certain, and you're contributing, you can't get that deduction, right? So they're not going to let you double dip and get two deductions on contributing to an IRA and your company 401k. And again, let me preface this too. I'm not a CPA or accountant. I just understand this stuff in the retirement landscape. So, what I would always say, the disclaimer is please speak and consult with your tax professional to give you the proper guidance on what to do in relation to your retirement plans. Right. So traditional, again, great if you're not offered a plan and you do want to contribute. I know some people who don't have who have a plan but have a spouse that doesn't work. You can set up IRAs for the non-working spouse. But again, traditional generally or pre-tax, just think I get the deduction now, I will pay later. You'll see a couple other mentions here. The required minimum distribution. I have to start taking money out of a traditional IRA at a certain age, which is now 73. But also, if I'm doing a pre-tax contribution through my employer, the same logic applies. When you retire, they're going to force you out of that plan if you stay in the 401k beyond or into retirement. The last note here on traditional IRAs is it tended to be beneficial for people who expect to be in a lower tax bracket upon retirement. That is true. However, if any of you are are privy to a pension plan of any sort, that might not be true. And I didn't realize that until I experienced that with a client who had worked for a municipality 40 years, had a max pension payout. And so when she retired, she was going to be in the same tax bracket. So she had done just, I'll call it the pre-tax contribution, and just had deferred all that tax and assumed she was going to be in this lower tax bracket because that's what she was told, but didn't realize that the pension income that she had accrued over those years was going to keep her in the same bracket. So again, I'm always going to say consult with a tax professional, because you just don't know, and you might need to make adjustments along the way depending on what you're trying to do from a tax standpoint currently, but also into the future. So I'll hop over to Roth really quick, and Roth is anything with Roth in front of it. And so your 401k, 403b, even the 457, you may have a Roth option within those employer plans. And people get this confused all the time. Well, Jasper, I got a Roth IRA through my job. And I'm like, no, you don't. You have a Roth option to contribute into your 401k or 403b. The IRA means you went on the outside and you open the account on your own. But the Roth, anything with the Roth in front of it, I love it. And here's why. I'm paying my taxes now. I'm just gonna pay the government now. I'm not worried about what taxes may look like when I retire. So I'll be honest, if you are considering this, your paycheck is going to be a little bit lighter if you are doing pre-tax and you make the switch, like let's say this week. That next paycheck's gonna be a little bit lighter because now they're taxing you to the fullest extent of that income that you earn. Some people don't like that. But also now, when I go to retire, the government's not looking for me because I've paid them. Don't y'all like that? They're not looking for you. So I like both options, but I just love, I would love to just pay you and never have to see you again. So the other thing about a Roth, and this applies to also Roths within these 401ks, 403bs, is also that you don't have that minimum distribution requirement. So if you just had money in a Roth vehicle of some sort, they're not forcing you out at a certain age. And if you haven't picked it up, the government wants that income that they deferred on the traditional or pre-tax side. But Roth, they're like, you already paid us. We're not auctioning you. It's your money. Roths are good options for legacy planning. So if you care about the next generation and are really thinking about the transfer, the taxes have been paid. So now you're transferring an asset that will never be taxed by your kids, your grandkids, great grandkids. It's a real legacy play. Um, Again, I'm not your tax person. I just want you to think a little bit more about Roth, the pre-tax option you have through your employer, or if you have a traditional IRA. I just want you to think about the tax ramifications of what you're in, and this is critical. Like it's critical today, tomorrow, and on to and even through retirement. So there's a lot going on. Anthony, I just saw your question. My bad. I was on a run. I'm gonna pause for a second. If you own your business for. So the question was around if you own your own business, what retirement plan is the most beneficial? It depends on you. You are the owner. So do you care about you being able to contribute the most? Do you care about your staff or employees? If you don't have staff or employees, you can still do like a solo 401k. You could do an IRA of some sort. So it really depends on what you're trying to do from a planning perspective. And so there's never a best option. It's just based on your revenues, the amount of employees you have, and if you want to offer a benefit to said employees. Do you want to offer a match to those employees from a retention standpoint? I would say this: if you are a business owner, having something is better than nothing. Yes, ma'am. I see your hand. Yep. Go ahead, Linnell.
I just wanted to add that, I really love how you break down the traditional IRA versus the Roth IRA. Um, but you know, if you're in your 20s versus in your 50s, the decisions that you make in your 20s will likely be very different than the decisions you make in your 50s. And so I think it's okay, and not just, just from a person who's been in mortgage lending for 30 some odd years, I've seen all types of savings, retirement. I've seen the gamut. And sometimes there's an evolution. You know what I mean? The evolution is perhaps triggered by income levels,
Yes. Yep.
family size, all the different dynamics that are there, but it's super, super important to understand it no matter where you are on the spectrum at 20 or 50, that these are still viable options for you no matter what the circumstances are.
Absolutely. And you just reminded me with a Roth IRA, there are income limits because of that tax-free nature of the dollars when they come out. So a Roth within the 401k, 403b, higher contribution limits. I find this all the time. I'm maxing out a Roth IRA, but they're not maxing out the employer plan, which allows you to contribute more money. There's no income. You could be making $1 million a year and be putting in the maximum amount into a Roth 401k. Now, if you were that same person making $1 million a year, you don't qualify for a Roth IRA, right? You make too much money. And so Roth has its benefits. But even if you're, let's say, doing the pre tax stuff all those years, just make a little side note Roth conversions. I don't have enough time to really go into details, but we know you have to pay the tax bill. And again, when consulting with your financial, your money team, you want to talk through like, how do I pay my taxes efficiently over a course of amount of like a certain amount of years, but you need to be retired because you want to be in a lower bracket. And then you start paying the taxes a little bit every year, and then you convert some of that traditional or that pre-tax money into a Roth vehicle. You're still gonna pay your taxes, but you're doing it in an efficient manner. So a lot that again, no matter what you decided to do, just having that talk with your tax person, your financial planner, your investment advisor is going to really help you in retirement. Like you want to have that comfortable retired life, think through taxes because it's going to impact you in somehow, some way. Government support, your Social Security. I'll highlight this one. This is your annuity payment from the government. So you've worked, you've paid into the system. You get your, I think it's what your 40 credits. You're entitled to a payout for the rest of your life. Now, again, when you decide to take Social Security is going to be the thing. When, what age, right? They keep I think by the time I'm ready, the age is gonna be 85. Like I just think they're gonna keep raising the limit. So I think for some of y'all who you're a little closer to retirement, you lucky because I just it's not a big part of my plan. Now, I think back in the day, people weren't living as long. The cost of living wasn't as high. Social Security was sometimes enough. It's not today. The recommendation I would have is if any of you had a pension plan at some point in your career, please make sure you access the system so you can see what your pension payouts will be. That's all I'm gonna say. And then with Social Security, SSA.gov, log in, set up your profile. You can see exactly what your benefit will be, and they do the calculations ongoing throughout life. So SSA.gov is my resource that I always share when talking about Social Security. When you decide to take it, up to you. That's all. That's the short version. We need to have a little more conversation, but I understand if you want to take it early. It's beneficial if you wait, but we could be here all day talking about Social Security as well. But just SSA.gov is the resource I want you all to hold on to. Pause here for a quick second. Any questions, comments? If not, we're gonna jump right into investing, and I'll give it a moment here. All right, investing. This is the fun stuff right here. It's the fun part. Here's why it's fun. I like this first one. This is why I like investing. My money's making money for me. Compound interest, I love it. I love it. It's the most incredible thing ever. It's great. My money's making money. See, investing is important because it's money you didn't have to work for. We can only work so many hours in the day. And so when I find people who are, I'll say, somewhat nervous about investing, how many hours can you work consistently every day? Like it's hard to keep working 20 hours a day for 30, 40 years. You're gonna crash. So in lieu of being able to work those hours, it's how do I set up different programs and structures to put my money to work? I'm working hard every day. I need my money working just as hard. I'm out here doing it. It should be too. And that's why compound interest is so incredible. And so for people who don't have or haven't had any experience or a bad experience with investing, I'm going to encourage you to reconsider it because the realities are keeping your money safe, you will just go broke slowly. And I'll come back to that later. But I know we like safety and security, but just know that doesn't help you make any money. And what I'll say is you take a chance every day by going to your job or looking or seeking additional employment opportunities. So you take a risk in your life. Your money also needs to be put at risk so you can really understand and compounding. My God, it's so good. I'm gonna keep going. I'm getting excited. All right, let's do a little scenario here. Pop quiz, y'all. We got two people. We got Caden and Jay trying to figure out who's gonna have more money by the time they reach age 60. So Caden, really quick, starts investing at 20. He's gonna do $50 a month for 10 years. He stops at age 30. So he just contributes for 10 years. That's it. Jay, she waits a little while, waits to age 30. She starts the same program, but she does it $50 a month for 30 years, and she also stops at age 60. So cast your vote. Who's going to have more money at age 60, Caden or Jay? So you can put an A or a B. A for Caden, B for Jay. Who do you all think is going to have more money at the age of 60? Right. Got a few here. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's check it out. Caden's our winner. So Caden did this 10-year. You see his contributions over the 10 years. He let that compounding thing take effect. Jay wasn't ready. Like Jay and Caden were at the same meeting. I said, hey, if you start right now, guess what's gonna happen to you at 60? And Jay was like, nah, I'm good. Got things going on. I said, cool, Jay, be good. But she came back in 10 years and we started the program. Now Jay is never gonna be able to catch Caden unless she ups that contribution. So she can catch him. It's just going to require her to do a little bit more in terms of that. She can't do 50. She probably needs to do 100, right? To really catch him or a little bit, whatever the number is. And so this is what they call the cost of waiting. They both had the goal of having some money at age 60. One decided to start earlier than the other. So if you're of a certain age, and I know this to be true from when I was a young professional, people would just tell me to save and invest, but I didn't really understand why. This is why, y'all. Just do it. Just do it. That's this is it. This is to do it. I didn't need to be coach. It was just Jasper. This is a smart thing for a 20 something. I was like, yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead, Linnell.
But my question is this a traditional well, yeah, is this just this compound interest for these scenarios? Is this in a basic savings account or is it actually in an investment vehicle like, stocks or, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's an investment. Where you getting 10% at a bank or
Okay, I'm
credit
just
union?
I'm just
This
making
ain't the
sure.
80s. Yeah.
I'm just making sure. I didn't want to make the. I was like, I think that this is not a savings account because the CDs don't
So
pay. Yeah.
leave it to the experts in the field to bring it up. So I used to get my uncle's in his 80s, and he remembers when his credit union was giving 12% in one of the accounts. And I was like, not today. I've never seen it in my lifetime. Right. And so I think there was a time where it was okay to play it safe. There was a time. We're not there from an interest rate standpoint in this current economy. This getting 10%, yeah, it's not going to be at your bank or credit union. And so that is it will require you to kind of step out of that comfort zone to make it happen. Um, you know, it the key thing is people tell me they want to wait to start investing, and I can't figure out what they're waiting for. But wait, no, I'm gonna get to it later. Are you? You go look, y'all. Do like Caden, just do it. Jay was not gonna miss that $50 10 years prior, but she was like, "I'm good. All right, cool." I'm not here to judge you about what you do with your life. I just think if we're gonna have these goals and set these parameters for like how we want to live, then it's gonna require a little bit of discipline, right? The automation, the same thing applies here. Caden put that on autopilot. He didn't think about $50 a month. He just stopped at age 30. He's like, I'm good. But he'd been doing it for 10 years. So we all have these choices that we can take advantage of. Real quick rule of thumb, this really speaks to like risk and your growth expectations, depending on what account you're looking for. This is a tried and true rule, the rule of 72. Pretty simple. whatever interest rate or expected rate of return, divide it into 72, and that gives you the amount of time it takes for your money to double. So if we are thinking about $1,000 at a 3% rate of return, it's going to take us 24 years to get $2,000. That's okay for some, not for me, right? If it's, hey, I'm expecting maybe 6%, it's a little bit more, a little bit more aggressive, still moderate. That same $1,000, it's going to take 12 years to become $2,000. And so really, this is just a good kind of rule of thumb to look at risk in terms of how you perceive risk and look at risk in terms of what vehicle you might choose, but also your growth expectations. So, and again, the reason I said that whole going broke slowly, that was from a personal experience with a client who he just didn't trust the stock market. But he complained to me every 3 months about his bank and the credit unions just weren't paying him enough in interest. And I was like, sir, what was your expectation? 3% ain't gonna get you there. I finally got him to open up an investment account, but it took me a long time. You just complaining about something you cannot fix, right? The goal was to grow the money, and you were not doing it efficiently. So we had to talk through his risk, preference and tolerance. We had a real in-depth conversation, but I showed him this. I was like, at the rate you're going, you're gonna be long. Your grandkids gonna enjoy this money. I mean, I think that was like the trigger. I was like, if you want to enjoy it, we might need to do a little bit something different, a little something. And that was the move. It was the legacy play. He was like, I love the grandkids. He was like, I want to spend some of my money. I was like, cool, let's take a little bit of risk. And so I'll meet somebody wherever they are. But when I drew this out for him, it clicked. So the rule of 72, great rule to set that expectation of what your growth might potentially be. As you think about compounding your savings, you have different options at, I'll say your bank or even your credit union. These are all good options, right? I won't bore you with all the details of each one, but you have different options on safety and security. And yes, you have to decide like what's the goal for this account, right? Start there. Like every account you have, pro tip, what am I on, number 3 or 4? Number 4. Pro tip number 4, if I'm counting right, every account should have a job description. Every account you have should have a very specific job description. If you got an account, you can't tell me why, I'm gonna ask you why you got the account. Give it a go. You better put a stamp on it. Tell me why you have it, else we should be closing it out. We should be consolidating. Pro tip number 5, and Anthony, keep me honest if I'm on the wrong account, but number 5, the CD. I'm gonna give y'all a good pro tip. Vacation and holiday planning, CDs are great. A CD, a certificate, is a time deposit. If you know you got a lot of holiday traveling to do, there's 3 big ones that happen at the same time every year. If you know you're gonna need some dollars, set up a CD earlier in the year and have that CD mature around September or October. You can time it up, drop in some money, just let it sit, and that becomes your spending allowance for the holidays. I think banks and credit unions used to do this Christmas account. It's a similar mindset of like you have accounts that are geared towards a certain goal. So the CD, I need something I need the goal, right? We talked about the SMART framework. It's a timing thing, which is why that time stamp is important. If I need $5,000 9 months from now, or 5,000 plus a little bit of interest they're gonna give me for that CD, lock that money up. Then when the CD comes mature or comes due, got your money, a little bit of interest, you go enjoy yourself. You haven't sacrificed anything else. You already pre-planned the fun you were gonna have during the holidays or on that vacation. That is my go-to. I can't save for a vacation. Save something and put it in a CD. That way, when I know you going on that trip, no, you're not gonna overspend and use your credit cards because you've already saved the money. I know strategic stuff. I'm telling you, that's why you need financial planners in your life. We do serve a purpose. We do serve a purpose. All right, inflation. Again, y'all know this to be true. Look at what that dollar in 1955 got you a whole gallon of milk. Just 20 years later, I would have had to borrow some money from Anthony. Anthony, can you lend me 56 cents so I can get a gallon? Brother only got $1. I mean, that's the reality of prices of goods and services have gone up over time. I'm sure they could have put in anything here, bread, eggs, gas. I mean, just over time, the price of goods and services has gone up, which is why when we talk about investing, it's about understanding you do need a higher rate of return because you might not even be keeping pace with inflation. For a long time, inflation was 3%. We've gone through some things in this time, like the Great Recession. We've had a resurgence. We had COVID. Rates have gone super low, and then they've gone super high, and then they've come back down a little bit. And so that's what keeps happening for the rest of our lives. Is just stuff is going to keep getting more expensive. So we do need to think about, and especially from a retirement standpoint, playing it too safe will also result in you running out of money. And that's the number one fear for any retiree is running out of money. I don't want that to happen to anybody on this session or who's listening to this session, but this is a reality that we all will face if we're not thinking about our investments, our investment dollars, our retirement investment dollars, our savings, like just all these things. So that person, that client I was just telling you about who was just sitting in his bank account, I mean, he was going broke slowly because he wasn't even keeping pace with inflation. He was getting less than 2%, but inflation was 3%. He's already at a 1% deficit. Every year he kept money. He was just losing it. I drew that out for him too. I said, sir, you're just losing money. But I feel so safe. I said, I understand. But I need you to make sure you're gonna have some money for your future self. So inflation will always have its part or play in the grand scheme of your savings and retirement plan. And then risk versus return. Risk is a positive thing. And it's a positive thing when you understand your risk preference. Higher risk, higher chance for return, higher chance for loss. Low risk, guarantee not to make nothing, but you're gonna feel safe and secure. And so I think that's also why you want to have different accounts that have different that have different job descriptions. So you cover the entire risk continuum. I have a checking account, I got bills. It's a revolving door. Money goes in and goes out. Retirement, I'm real aggressive because I'm not close to it. So I want to have a whole bunch of money. And then I have in between accounts. And so each account has a certain risk profile. Again, very specific description and risk profile. I don't want to risk the money for the house or the money for the kids or the money for my wife. I can't risk that money. That's just silly. People do. It's just not a game I want to play. So we got to figure out based on the number of accounts we have, is the risk I'm taking appropriate? Right. And there's questionnaires that you can find online. They're readily available. Every financial person will give you one. Just if you say you want to be aggressive, but your investments are showing conservative, we got to have a discussion, or vice versa. I don't want to take no risk, but then I see your account is risky. What happened? And I find that a lot with, especially like with 401ks. I want to be a little more conservative. I'm like, but your account is you got all stocks. Okay, so we got to talk about risk. It's a conversation that has to happen or should happen. I'm say should. And then you have a lot of different investment options. Again, the stocks have proven to do well over time. I'll say that, right? Stock is all about ownership. You own a piece of the company or a fraction. You own it. You're an owner. A bond, again, people use the lingo. A bond is a debt instrument. That's essentially, that's a short version. Yeah, stocks and bonds, they're great. They both have their place in the grand scheme of an investment strategy. Again, bonds have tended to not, they tended to underperform stocks over history. But again, investing is really like a cycle. Things will go up and down. So depending on the ups and downs of the economy of the market in its entirety, bonds may outperform stocks in small windows of time. But again, because it's a debt, meaning somebody has to make a payment, some investors like receiving that payment by way of interest coupon. A stock has a dividend, which also could offer up some income, if you will. And then a mutual fund is a basket full of. It's a basket full of stocks. It's a basket full of bonds. A basket full of stocks and bonds. You got a whole bunch of variety. It's a pool of people all putting their money to buy. Let's say I like technology stocks. Okay, well in that mutual fund you might have Meta, Google, Amazon, Nvidia. You'll just have all these companies, but maybe too expensive for you to own the stock outright. but you can own a piece of that stock or have some ownership if the fund purchases shares of the stock. So mutual funds are great kind of options for that newer novice investor. We don't have it on here in the deck here, but exchange traded funds or ETFs are another option if you wanted to make a little quick note on the side. But a fund is a really good option for that newer investor. Trying to do individual stocks and bonds is very challenging for even the best advisors out there, but you can do it. But again, you have some options on how you may decide to invest. Really quick, your portfolio may be it may encompass a variety of things, right? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. It could be real estate. It could be businesses. That's for you to decide. Some people want it all. Some people want just one. It's up to you. I think if I'm on this mission to disrupt generational poverty, if it's gonna make me some money and help my family, I'm with it. So again, some people are it's only real estate, it's only the stock market, it's only business. You know, you can do all three. Just saying, like, just let people know, like, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing or either or. For me, it's and it's when I can figure it out for myself or work with a professional to support me with that endeavor. So your portfolio may have a lot. Even so, I know you talk about diversification. You know, even within real estate, I love it. You can have single family homes, duplexes, triplexes could be a thing, commercial. So just with real estate, that's four. I'm probably missing a whole bunch. But then you have stocks. You got large company stocks, small company stocks, international stocks. So you can be diversified within a certain sector. You have a lot to choose from, which also is an impediment for some people to begin investing because there's information over. Where do I start? Well, I heard, Anthony told me real estate's the best thing ever. Or Linnell said investing. I'm like, for them, yeah, that worked. Again, at the very, your financial plan, investment strategy, retirement strategy, it should be unique to you. Somebody will always give you a recommendation of what you should do. Ultimately, is for you to determine what is the best for the goal you're trying to achieve. How do I start? Two options: do it yourself, work with somebody, or a combination. Uh, Pros and cons to each one. I think, again, as I'm personalizing and thinking about my unique situation, I need to think about what is best for me. That's it. It's a combination. If you haven't had success working with an advisor and you go solo, great. Hope you're getting the results you want. And vice versa. If you've been doing it yourself, like, I don't trust nobody. That's a big one. Trust. I don't trust nobody with my money. Okay, cool. Are you getting the returns you seek? If not, okay. So you have a choice in the matter, right? I think do it yourself, work with somebody, or a combination of the two is what I usually recommend. Just you pick. It's not my money. It's your money. So you decide. And then lastly, as we kind of wrap things up here, just in terms of the SMART goals framework, we talked about savings, we talked about retirement, we talked about investing. I think you can follow this kind of process here. Just take inventory, analyze where you are today, where you're trying to go, set up the structure with the SMART goals framework, take a step. And take action doesn't mean some grandiose, I got to do it all. No, just take one little baby step. If budgeting is your thing, right? And you're like, I'm trying to figure it out. Downloading a budgeting template is action. We can celebrate the small wins as we build up to the bigger win, right? We talked about this too. Review and adjust your plan regularly. Maybe it's quarterly, maybe it's twice a year, once a year. Just check in with yourself. Make sure you're still in alignment with where you're trying to go. And then the last one, just keep learning. There's so much that we can do. So much information is readily available to us. I'll just say check your sources. That's all I'm gonna say. Continue learning, but check your sources. I've taken tests and I'm licensed. I know people who take advice from people who don't have any license. I'm like, did you care about their background? You have a choice in the matter about who you work with and what resources and outlets you get involved with. So just check your sources. Check your sources. And then lastly, I think there's a nice participant survey here. I'll leave this here up as we kind of close things out. But it's been my pleasure to be with you all today. Hopefully you've learned a few things or two. I think pro tips, Anthony, I got to 5. Did I get to 5? I think I got them all right. But just want to make sure that we think more about like how do we set up these plans that again are unique to us, and from there, just believe you can do it. That's what I'll say. Right, just keep believing you can make it happen, and whatever you aren't comfortable with, just know there's somebody who's out there who's willing to probably help support you and provide some additional education. So that will conclude my remarks. Again, if you want to scan the code here to provide some feedback to you all can be honest. I'll say, Anthony, if they didn't like me, they didn't like my sweater, that's cool. Just I get it.
Well, don't worry,
If
I'll
I
let you know. We do have one question though. I
yeah.
think Israel put out, but I left it in the chat for you, Jasper.
Okay.
And I thought it was
Yeah.
amazing, just feedback. Amazing, great content, great delivery. I love the examples, given you have real life experience actually in the financial services, financial planning sector. It really, really helped and just, yeah, all of it was awesome. So thank you so much. Thank you. Women's Council thanks you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And then Anthony, I see the question strategic. I'm not clear on I get the forms while it's like we're looking for a specific outlet to learn while we're,
I think it was during one of the slides you had up.
Yeah,
Can he get off mute and explain his question?
yeah,
go ahead, Israel. Why don't you jump off mute and
Hey, how's it going,
ask the
everyone?
question?
all right, all right.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for your
Pretty
time.
good.
Thank you for the
Yeah,
presentation.
yeah,
So the question that I was having was, what I said was, how do you follow and stay, well, not stay in touch, excuse me. The processes that you're explaining, I know a lot of it is just very specific to who you are, very specific
yeah.
to your personal goals. I think I was asking as like as a whole between what was the three things? Uh, Oh, the stocks, the bonds, and the mutual funds. I know you said start with mutual funds, and then the next slide down. I don't remember which one it was, but it's very specific to the slide. I'm trying to
I
make
can go
sure I
back.
understand.
Let me go
Thank
back.
you. Yep.
It was this one.
And the one before that, no, I guess it was the one afterwards.
So how do you
Yes.
start? Like, what is there a proper order to how you build your
Yeah.
portfolio?
Yes.
There's
Yes.
not. There's not. There's
Okay.
not. I think there's more of a comfort level of when you start talking about risk, because you're putting your money at risk, right? And so
hmm
it's you determining is it something that's more stock based, something that's more
hmm
bond based? Is it
hmm
real estate? Is it business? There's not, I would say, a specific order. It's really personal preference in terms of what you are most comfortable doing. So I
Okay.
have people who do the stock market,
hmm
avoid real estate all, but they have real estate within the markets, right? So there's a
That makes
security that
sense.
you can, and then I have people who do real estate and don't do stock market investments. And
hmm
so it's really around what are you comfortable with, but also it's a
hmm
matter of um, do you want to be an expert in a specific space? And so I find people who will learn and educate themselves on the different options, but then they'll kind of just whittle it down to a couple of things because your brain can only take so much. Look, the reason I have a money team personally, because I can't be the expert on every single thing, right? I'm pretty good with like financial planning, do a little bit of insurance, some stock market stuff. Real estate, I just call my wife. That's her jam. Call him like I don't need to be an expert in everything, but I think a lot of us tend to think we have to. You don't. So when I said that, the slide about working with somebody and how, like, I think there's stuff I can do on my own, which I'm confident in, and there's things I'm going to just hire somebody for to save myself the time and the headache. Like I got a buddy who, like, COVID made everybody think they could be a day trader. Lord knows everybody after COVID, you was sitting around. I'm gonna trade stock. I'm a bit. I mean, people really thought, and not. I'm not gonna say 3 months after all those people are no longer trading, close those accounts. And it was a fad. People do that every day legitimately and manage billions of dollars. But I had the average person who was like, I'm gonna get into this. Are you gonna get up at old dark 30, do your research, get in, get out, have your I mean, there's a process to doing this work if you are into trading. I'm an advisor and I don't trade like that. Doesn't fit my personality. I could do it. No, I'm cool. I'm gonna set up some structures that will allow me to have a better quality of life. And I will be participating in the stock market, but I will not be looking at my phone every 5 minutes. Like something happened in the world right now, and I should have placed a trade, but I'm on here with you all having a session. So that's the realities of like day trading. But I think it's again, I'm explore it, try it out. There are even accounts. I can't think of the website. Um, it's like Monopoly Money. You can set up fake brokerage accounts and do like real trading with fake dollars to test out your skills. I'm sure there's a lot of different platforms today. I can't think of one off top of mind, but you can find some of those beginner trading platforms online. I'm always willing to maybe pay for stuff if you see you want to go down that route. But in terms of that order for you, you got to decide, is this something I really want to pursue? Or do I just want to learn enough about investing and then put my money in a fund or work with an advisor to support me? Because I got a whole job and a career over here. I can't watch the markets every day. So I think to each his own, but it is really thinking about, and that's why I say there's pros and cons to the what you decide to do, but ultimately it should culminate in you figuring out like what is the plan that's going to help you sleep best at night, whatever that may be.
All right, perfect. Thank you. That was the question.
Yeah. All right. And then Anthony, anything else come through?
Well, yeah, I think I think you and Linnell shared a little bit of information. I think Linnell, you shared something about a link to Columbia Bank and Jasper. You shared your Mr. Bill Wealth
I
site.
did. I actually shared Columbia Bank's website, and I also shared Jasper's hashtag.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just resharing that. That's all I was gonna say. I think there's been there was a question or two about how they could reconnect with you guys. So.
Because so does it depend when you post it as to whether or not it's still available or
Oh yeah, it is. Actually, I just see it. I see it.
okay. Yeah. And then
So
at the end of this, do you then send a follow-up? Does everyone get the replay or is it just people who ask for the
that's a
replay?
great question. I can find out, and I
Okay.
don't see why everyone that attended can't get the replay.
Yeah.
I just would have to figure out exactly how to facilitate that.
Yeah. I
But
think
yeah,
that would be a
it'd be
great
fun.
option because, it's a lot of content,
Yeah.
high level, and it would be great to revisit some of the discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's great.
Totally makes sense. So everyone, access and contact information for Jasper is at the top of the beginning of the chat. Also, information on Columbia Bank is there as well. For those of you who would like to reconnect with them and dig a little deeper, I'm going to check in to see if I can make sure that you have this content, this video content for you to follow up on. And with that, definitely want to thank you, Linnell, as well as you, Jasper, for leading a great session, engaging these wonderful people, and some insights into savings and retirement, as well as investing. My name's Anthony Beckley, everyone. I hope you had a great experience. And we'll be reaching out with this content for you. Give me a few days to figure that out.
Right on.
All right.
Thanks so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks,
Thank
Thanks a lot,
you.
everybody.
everybody. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks.
All right, bye
Take
now.
care.
Bye bye.
I think